My ex-wife let her boyfriend and kids bully my son, took over his room, and got punished because he refused to rub foot as a chore and told me I have no money, so I should go along. My wife filed for divorce because she was no longer attracted to me after my accident in which I lost my leg. We had an agreement that I could see my son anytime I wanted, but he wouldn't be doing any overnight visits unless I had a motel or apartment. At the time, my RV had no heat, and the doors didn't lock and I didn't feel comfortable with him sleeping there. Shortly after his 7th birthday, he called me super upset, crying that he didn't want to be there anymore. He told me that his mom's boyfriend's kids were making fun of him for asking about going to therapy. He said he only told his mom and that she must have told the whole house. When I brought up his therapy, my ex dismissed the idea entirely, saying there is no reason why a 7-year-old needs a psychiatrist to pump him with substances. I told her he doesn't need medication, but having someone to talk to about things would be beneficial. Her exact words were, "Since you don't have any money, it might be hard to grasp that those of us who don't want to waste it on problems that are imaginary. Anything involving our son, she uses the fact that she is the primary caretaker with money, and I need to just go along with whatever she says." I was completely unaware that her boyfriend and kids moved in. The boys took over my son's room and threw away his clothes that were on the floor, which were only on the floor because they took his dresser. They also play this game where one of the boys puts a pillow over his head and farts, and when he tries to get up from under the pillow, the boys both sit on the pillow and laugh. I asked him how long they had been doing this. He said until he plays dead and stops moving. Accident asphyxiation? I confronted my ex, and I told her what our son told me, and she said that it was just rough housing and he is just sensitive because he was an only child, so he doesn't know how to play. Covering someone's face and sitting on them is not a effing game. This is not just boys being boys. She let out a huge, annoyed sigh and said her boyfriend has his own way of raising boys and that since he lives there and not me, they run the house how they want. Her boyfriend took my son's phone because he was being disrespectful. I asked her to elaborate. My son didn't want to rub her boyfriend's feet as a chore. My son, under no circumstance, should ever have to touch someone he doesn't want to touch, and calling it a chore is predatory. As I'm saying all this, her boyfriend comes around the corner laughing and says, "Ha ha, I don't know what you are moaning and groaning about. You don't live here. Don't you come here making demands." Before I could respond, he said I should just take my sissy of a son back to the trailer park because if he doesn't want to listen to the man of the house, he can go. I am not taking my son from his mother, nor am I jealous that she is in a new relationship. My son needs his mom, he needs us both, but right now, she isn't paying attention, and I mean that in the simplest terms. She is PP intoxicated. I filed for emergency custody, and today was our hearing. She came with her boyfriend and his kids. His mom didn't say a word to our son. She was laughing and playing with her boyfriend's boys while we waited. I had to sit and watch my son watch them with tears in his eyes. He asked me, "Mom has known me my whole life. Why is she picking them?" I had no response because I felt the same exact way. She didn't contest my custody, and I almost got in trouble myself because I asked her to get her head checked because she was acting like she might have a brain tumor. Update, I got full custody of my son. We are staying in a motel for a week and looked at apartments today, but it'll be a while before I can save up. The RV is habitable now. I can now get him into therapy, I can get food stamps, and my son is safe.